Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you step by step how to paint this mini little landscape, a sunset with some tall grass in the foreground. Here are the colors that we're going to be using, and I'll list them all in the description below, as well as the size canvas and the brushes. This is a 5x7 white gesso primed little mini canvas that I'm working on today, and I'm going to begin with my luminous yellow and a flat brush. So I'm going to start pulling and blending back and forth across the canvas, leaving a few spaces bare. Okay, I'm now going to take a little bit of titanium white and I'm going to softly blend that in to part of this luminous yellow, and I'm not going to completely cover the entire canvas with it. I want to have a little bit of the canvas exposed and some of that luminous yellow exposed as well. I don't want it all to be the same color. I'm going to do this for a little bit, and then what I'm going to do is gently scrape off where the sun is going to be. So I'll just be scumbling off, pulling off part of the paint, exposing the bare canvas right in the middle here for a nice bright sun. Now the next color I'm going to be using is my neon orange. Now the neon colors that I'm using today are all by Holbein. They're luminous neon heavy bodied acrylics by Holbein. You can find them on Amazon, and you can also get them in fine art stores. I've got some burnt sienna I'll be using as well, and some Mars black. So I'm going to take my little flat brush, pick up a bit of my neon orange, and I'm going to start applying that right across the horizon. I'll pull back and forth, sliding my brush side to side. This will create a reflection and some ripples in the water. And then I'll build up where the horizon is, and we're going to have the mountains in the background, or bushes or trees, whatever's going on back there. So I'll do that first before I add my black and eventually a little bit of light blue violet as well. So I'm purposely turning my brush using kind of the corner of it just to make little dabs and make it look kind of bumpy, so we've got that textured look back there of trees, bushes, or maybe mountains. Now you can pull, flick down, straight down towards the bottom of the canvas, and then pull back in the opposite direction to make it look more like water. So we'll just add a little bit of this. We don't want to cover up all that luminous yellow mixed with the white that we have underneath. Now I'm going to take a bit of my burnt sienna and start pulling it across the horizon as well, turning my brush sideways, pulling across, and then I get those little lines in there that look like ripples and reflections in the water. I'll just add a little bit here and there, a few little lines, dusting my brush back and forth. And notice how I'm turning my brush and using it a few different ways to create skinnier lines and thicker lines. Alright, it's time to come in with our black now. You can use any black that you have, and I'm going to be using the same brush. I didn't even wash it off first. It doesn't matter if I've got those other colors in there. And this is going to really create that beautiful silhouette and contrast that we want, that makes this painting really stand out in all these colors. So I'm going to just fill that in, leaving a bit of the neon orange exposed underneath and just above. Now I'm just going to add a little bit below in the water for some little reflections and shadows in the water. And then what I'm going to be doing is washing my brush off and going into my light blue violet. This is a very complementary color, goes quite well with the oranges and yellows that we've got going on in this painting. So I'm going to take a little bit of that, mix it up with some titanium white. Remember, you want to have a clean brush for this. And if your paint is still wet underneath, you might want to just dry your painting off, your canvas off quickly with a hairdryer or something. Otherwise, your blue may blend with that luminous yellow and you'll get more of a green tone, and you might not like that. It would still look pretty, but if you want it to look like this, then you'll want to have your canvas dry, completely dry underneath first. So I'm going to pick up a little bit more white this time and just barely touching the canvas, dabbing and pulling and flicking to create wispy looking little clouds in the sky. I'm going to add a little bit of that color below too. I don't want it to look too dark because I want to be able to see all these colors through all the tall grass that we're going to have. I'm even going to add a little bit of my light blue violet below the horizon, right underneath the black mountains and bushes that we've got back there. It's just a nice accent. It looks really pretty with everything, and it makes all the other colors pop out. Okay, now I'm going to do another layer on the top of the canvas. On the very top of the sky, I'm just going to take straight light blue violet, pull and sweep with my brush. Then I'm going to pick up a little bit of white and very, very lightly, just very carefully brush over top of it. Come in with a few more little wispy looking clouds, sliding my brush and then using the corner of my brush to make the clouds look a little bit puffier in areas, but remembering to keep them really small so they feel like they're far away. We want to create that perspective. I'm now going to go just a little bit above the black with blue using the corner of my brush. And if you're not comfortable with this, you may want to just switch over to a little liner brush. Then you might feel like you have a bit more control and it'd be easier for you. But you can manipulate a flat brush by just using the corner of it very carefully. I'll clean this up inside and add more black where I need to. Okay, so now I'm going to take blue and black, more black though, and I'm going to start working on the foreground. So in no specific way, I'm just dabbing those colors along the bottom, pushing and tapping and blending. So I'll bring it up a little bit higher, and then I'm going to be switching over to a really, really cool brush that I have. It's an even tail wisp Filbert brush. So here it is right here. This is one of my newer brushes. I've shown you guys this one quite often in my videos lately. And I try to incorporate it as much as I can just so that you guys can see all the different ways you can use it and how useful it is. So it's great for creating little wispy looking trees, grass. I use it for waterfalls sometimes, palm trees. So here I'm just coming in with a little bit of water on my brush and the black and the blue and just lining it up where I want to start, pulling and flicking lightly, and it'll just give you that really feathered, delicate look. So I'll do this for a little bit, and then I'm going to switch over to a liner brush and create my long individual pieces of grass and weeds that are coming out of the water. So here I've got a long liner brush, I've got a bit of water on it, and I'm going to twist it and roll it in my black, little bit of blue, and burnt sienna. You have to have a little bit of water in your brush so that that paint can flow nicely and easily out of your brush. So I'm going to pull these in all different directions because that's how they grow and they're kind of messy looking. And I'm even going to go right across the sun, and they're going to go, some of them are going to go like right off past the canvas on the top. Now what this does is it gives us the illusion, it makes us feel like we're kind of sitting down on the grass maybe and just looking out at that view. It's a really nice perspective, and I quite enjoy painting landscapes like this and these perspectives, and I'm excited for you guys to give this one a try. I hope that you'll leave a comment below and like this video, and if you're new to my channel and you've just stopped by to watch this video, please subscribe and tap that bell so you get notified each and every time I post a new video. So I'm going to keep on building up, tapping really, really lightly, lots of little taps to make it look like the little flowers or the texture, whatever's going on the ends of those little pieces of grass. And you can change it up. You don't have to use all black. You can use some burnt sienna at times and even incorporate a little bit of the neon orange if you want. As well as you want to do this, you want to come in with a clean brush when you do this though, when you're switching your colors, especially when you want to go to the light blue violet. And you can dry off your layers in between as well if you're worried about them all mixing up. But the light blue violet is a really, really nice addition to the foreground, because you're going to have, it is still mostly in silhouette, but you're going to have little bits of highlights on those grasses, those blades of grass from the sunset. And then you're also going to have some midtones and some cool shadows. So that's where that blue, light blue violet comes in. So I'm just going to continue adding all these different pieces of grass. Some of them are curling over and bending. This kind of helps create that feeling and that vibe that there's a soft breeze blowing, which is really nice too if you can create atmosphere in a painting. And I'm going to create a really tall one here that goes right off the canvas just about, and then I'm just going to push and tap. So without trying very hard and with very little effort, you can create a really, really nice, soothing piece of artwork. So now I'm just pulling in a little bit of that light blue violet that I've got left. There's a little bit of black in there, but that's okay. You can still see it there and it looks really pretty. Now for an alternative to light blue violet, if you don't have that specific color, you can easily make it. All you need is white and either ultramarine blue or cobalt blue. And either one of those blues, because they're very, very similar, mixed with a bit of white will get you this light blue violet color. And if you don't have any of those, you can use any blue that you have and it'll still look pretty. Another alternative is if you're a purple fan and you just really love the color purple, that will look equally beautiful. That is also very complementary to yellow and orange. So there's a few different things you could do with this painting, guys. And lastly, I'm coming in with a clean brush and little hints of neon orange to finish this up and just add another extra pop behind those trees and mountains way back there by the sun. And then I'll add just a little bit, a touch of that in the water. So I want to thank you guys so much for joining me for this video today. I hope you learned a lot and got inspired. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'll see you next time really soon in another video. Happy painting, everybody. Bye.